Some people talk about Ageless, the Ageless Society, and Bob Delmatique and Kelly represented that. For me, they were my inspiration because they were friends with Jack LaLanne, and he was, clearly a great inspiration to all of us. And I say that because, most of us appreciate athletic performance. And the challenge with athletic performance is that almost every athlete's been led to believe we've got to chunk down that protein. We've got to get animal protein. And we've been led to believe that plant proteins are inferior. But there's a whole new school of athletes that have come about, and I've studied them back through the generations. Bill Pearl was a great inspiration to me because he was one of the original Mr. Universes, and Bill competed during the time Arnold Schwarzenegger was first coming up. And Bill was an all vegetarian. He still had a little dairy and egg in his diet. I talked to him when he was age 75, I think it was, at the Mr. Olympiad a few years back, and I confided in him. I said, could you have done it without the eggs and the dairy? And he said, yes. He said, I know I could have. And he said, probably would have been a better way to go. It's interesting because Mike Tyson, his doctor called me, and I heard Mike in the background while they were on the phone. And they were seeking my counsel because they had heard about me, and I broke world records, and I spoke at the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Being very clear about hormonal imbalances, they were concerned about estrogen dominance, and they were asking me about EstroBlock, one of our best-selling products, to clear up estrogen dominance. And I explained to the doctor the science, and Mike was in the background asking a few questions. And the subject came up about diet. And I remember distinctly sharing with him a little bit more about, listen, if you really want to get great results, supplements are great because they're going to help balance out your hormones, but following a whole food plant-based diet is going to be the next evolution for you. And at that time, Mike had gained a lot of weight. Mike Tyson, he got really heavy. He was just kind of at the end of his fighting career, and he made the big jump, whether it was my conversation with him or other influences, not sure at this point, but somewhere along the line, after a while, sometimes people chip away at you, and then someone who you really respect comes along and says, hey, it's time to step up.